Yes, like, share, and subscribe, y'all. This man he is good. He very respectful, and y'all need him. By
I
the way,
appreciate that.
just to put that out there.
Have a good
Okay,
one.
thank you for debating me.
Bree L, what is going on? How are you doing today?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. What are your feelings on Trump?
I'm definitely right winged, but I'm not MAGA. I wouldn't say I'm so far right MAGA.
So, what do you think the distinction is?
I think I think people who are MAGA, they worship Trump. I don't worship Trump. I don't think he's the best president ever. But I think being too far right and too far left are equally as bad.
I think people can be wrong about. Well, sure, I hear you. What do you like? Okay, do you want to talk about what you like about Trump or what you don't like about Trump?
I really just wanted to know what you thought about abortion.
Okay, sure, we can talk about that. When I mean, people deserve a right to bodily autonomy. If you have, you should be able to get it up. We should at least codify Roe v. Wade in Florida. Yeah, taking away a person's right to bodily autonomy is horrible.
I think that it's not taking away their right to their body because if the baby, it's the baby's body, not your body. So you can't really decide who is worthy of life and who is not because if it's the baby's body, if you're killing that baby, it's not your body.
Oh, look, hey, yeah, I agree with you. You shouldn't be talking about who has the right to life or not. I like
Correct.
everything that is alive. I'm a vegetarian. I think that everything that is alive has the right to life. And what I'm saying is that you also have the right to your bodily autonomy, and that and that the baby, the fetus's right to life does not supersede the mother's right to bodily autonomy. That's my position. And like you can believe what you want. I'm not gonna be able to necessarily change your mind on that, but that's my position on it.
I like I think my view is the only exception for ever getting abortion is if the mother is medically in danger, which we can't decide whether to save the baby or the mother's life because that's only a doctor's like only the doctor can choose whether to save the baby or the mother in the situation.
Hmm.
I think that's the only reason, or if a child gets raped. I believe that if an adult gets raped, they there are many options, and the baby shouldn't be killed because of the way it was conceived.
So I also I don't think the circumstances under which something was conceived should lead to it being able to be destroyed or not. I mean, for some things, yes, but like for a fetus, I don't think that really matters. It's a human life, and it has value because of that. However, we can't just force women to be baby making factories. Like
No,
they
no,
have the
of
right to bodily
course.
autonomy, and they shouldn't have to carry a pregnancy to term. And that's just what I
I
fully
think
believe. If we were to treat fetuses as fully fledged human beings with all the rights, we would change our society in drastically different ways, and would be expected to do things like unreasonable things. I mean, people have the right to bodily autonomy, and if they don't want to be pregnant, they shouldn't be forced to carry a baby to term.
I
That's just what I
think
fully believe.
if I think if you're responsible enough to have sex, you're responsible enough to carry a child and give that
Wait,
child
wait.
their right to
Oh,
life.
come. Wait. So sorry. How old are you? I just want to make sure. You sound young, but it just
I'm
might be.
19.
Okay, cool.
I'm 19.
Um, yeah, wait. People don't have sex. Trust me, people don't have sex responsibly. And if we want to limit the amount of abortions, the single best way to do that is good sex education in schools and prophylaxis, use of condoms. That's the I mean, even if you outlaw abortions, you are still going to get them, and they're just going to be more and more dangerous. And again, that's like whenever we're talking about like even drugs or anything, things that people have like moral quandaries with, which people do have moral quandaries with abortion, just eliminating them just puts them on the black market and makes it more dangerous. If you want to stop abortion, which fine, like again, that's totally reasonable for you to believe, the best way to do that is sex education so that people only have it
I think so too.
responsibly.
I think we should bring sex education into school drastically, like more. Like the only time I think I've ever learned sex education was in ninth and eighth grade, and that was it. And they didn't teach you about abortion. They didn't teach you about any of this. I think they only taught you how a baby was conceived. And I think they need to know the dangers of it and what they're actually doing and what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
And I
And
think
so I'm sorry, I just cut you off for a second. I'm running for
go
state
ahead.
house here in Tampa, in Florida, to make sure that we properly teach sex education. Last year they made, or a few years ago, they made it so that it was opt in to sex education so that kids weren't going to automatically learn about their bodies and how to stay safe and also how to recognize unsafe sexual acts being done to them, which is
Mhm.
super important to teach kids. I mean, for obvious reasons. And instead, kids have to actively opt into it, which means that kids in abusive households with parents who don't want their kids to learn about sex education are in much more danger. And it's a really, really horrifying
Mhm.
side effect of that.
Um, I I think the only 100% way to not get pregnant is to not have sex because no contraceptives
Sure.
are 100 like they're not able to 100% justify or what is the word I'm looking for? I'm
They're
having
not
my blank.
100% protective. Yeah,
Right.
they can break sometimes. That's absolutely true. And is everybody going to be abstinent?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
Is everybody going to be abstinent from sex? No, no, no.
What do
There's
you
never there. We're never going to live in a world where people don't have irresponsible sex.
Yes,
And so
no, of course.
we have to live in that reality. We can't do it for
And
somebody's ideal.
I think living that reality, they have to take responsibility for what they're doing.
I agree.
Like
And our definitions
there's
of taking
definitely
responsibility for that is different. I don't think that somebody should be forced to carry that pregnancy to term. You do, and that's okay. But I don't think we can enforce push our beliefs onto other people. Like I wouldn't vote for
yeah,
that.
no, totally. I I voted for Trump this like the last election. I would never vote for him again.
Oh, what changed your mind?
I think just I don't know. It's not. I'm not living the best life right now. We all live in check to check, and I know what he's doing is like it's a long term situation, but it's not good right now. but
So
like
that's one of the things
I
I
think his
hear.
2000s.
Oh, I
I
want
think
to hear
his
what you're about to say.
2016.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's 2016.
Tax Cut and Jobs Act.
Fuck, I'm losing. No, I think his 2016 term was
Okay.
a very good term. That's why I voted for him again.
Okay, so
But this term was just he's totally
So one of the things that I hear a lot from people about like Trump's economic policy is that it is a long-term solution. You can't just look at the tariffs right now. Of course, they're going to hurt us in the short term, but trust me,
right.
they'll help us in the long term. So when we talk about tariffs, when are they like what are they for? Do you know?
Um, what I was told or what I know is he would put them on deliveries and like importing and exporting so we wouldn't buy from oh my god it's
No,
like I
you're there.
okay so we
You're
couldn't
getting
buy
there.
from other countries
Yeah, yeah, yes.
yeah
So
we couldn't buy from
tariffs
other countries so that our
tariffs are a
economies
tax
started
that
getting better over time.
tariffs are a tax that consumers pay on goods they're buying from other countries, right? So this is to make other countries' foreign goods more expensive, and so it is that in comparison, domestic goods are cheaper. Now that can work for baby industries, for industries that are just starting up.
Mm-hmm.
We used to use them a lot, like before the 1900s, because well, that was actually one of the only ways the federal government actually could do taxes, and it was one of the only ways
Mm-hmm.
we could consistently actually, see where the money was coming from. Those are good if you're doing it for one industry or one or two industries. The reason the Great
Mm-hmm.
Depression was so bad was because right before, or when it was happening, we instituted massive tariffs, 20% tariffs on almost all goods in the marketplace. That drastically rose prices across the market. So it didn't raise prices in one industry, so that industry would do better. It rose prices
Mm-hmm.
across the market, which means people can't pay for things anymore. That sends your economy into a massive recession. Donald Trump, instead of imposing a few specific tariffs, imposed massive, wide ranging tariffs. That does not help an economy. All that does is take us out of the global marketplace. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like,
um
there
I'm
is
not s-
no long term benefit to that. All it
mhm.
does is increase prices right now and then limit our ability to grow. China is doing massive investments in their infrastructure and their production because they're tied to the world marketplace, and we're taking ourselves out of it.
Mhm. um I'm not extremely educated on like all of this stuff. Like I've never really looked into it much. It's just I was raised Republican and we lived like we've always stuck to our morals and beliefs, and that's why we vote Republican. I think everybody in my family right now thinks it's pretty bad right now, except for my grandma because she like worships Trump.
Yeah,
But anyways, I don't worship him. I think we need a Christ following country. That's what I believe. I just vote for um the side that I think is more morally correct to my beliefs. So
sure.
I'm not super educated on all of that stuff.
Well, I will say I want to really commend you for having an open mind, for like genuinely being inquisitive about this stuff and wanting to learn more. That I mean, that's truly great. And I'm also glad that you're willing to say that, like, hey, this is how I've been influenced, and I understand there are other perspectives. That like a lot of people don't do that, so I applaud you for that.
Thank you. I just think you compared to like Dean Withers is you're super respectful and super understanding, and I want to thank you for that.
Well,
And like I've debated him before, and he's like he gets mad very easily, he has anger issues.
maybe that's why I have
So
fewer viewers than him right now. But if you want to make sure that I get up to Dean's level, can you tell everyone to like, share, and subscribe?
yes, like, share, and subscribe, y'all. This man he is good. He very respectful, and y'all need him. By
I
the way,
appreciate that.
just to put that out there.
Have a good
Okay,
one.
thank you for debating me.